Hello there. Welcome back to Academically Speaking, where we share insider insights that transform good writers into great ones. I'm Taiwo from Delight Data Exploration. Someone just left this comment. Thank you for the amazing content, but my supervisor keeps calling my argument weak. And I don't even know what that means. I'm putting all my research in there. Now, immediately I saw this, I identified what the problem was. You're confusing research with arguing. Today, let's fix that. Now, here's what most of us do. We write like this: Smith 2020 found X. Jones 2019 discovered Y. Therefore, my point is correct. Now that's not arguing. You're just making a list, hoping that people would agree with you. Real arguments don't just present facts. They build a case that is difficult to ignore. Like when your mom wants you to come home for Christmas, they don't just pick up the phone and call you and say, "Come home." She built a case. Your siblings will be there and making your favorite meal. And oh, it's been 6 months since we were last home. That's what we need to learn. Building strong arguments is actually very simple. There are 3 pillars you need. 3 pillars. Pillar 1 is to start with why it matters. Don't just write, "These studies examine something." Rather write that students are failing because of something. Pillar 2 is connect your points. Each idea should lead to the next one naturally. It's like you're telling a story, not just reading about random facts. Pillar 3 is to address the obvious objections. Here you're saying what critics will say even before they say it. That's it. The 3 pillars you need to learn. Now let's delve into them in detail. Remember, start with the stakes, connect your points, and beat critics to the punch. The difference is like explaining to your father why you need money versus just going to meet your dad and say, "Hey dad, give me money." One approach gets results. You know what the other one will get? Questions. What do you need money for? Why are you asking me? Go meet your mama. Now, pillar 1. Remember I mentioned that the first pillar we examine what? Why it matters. So let's break it down. So pillar 1 is to start with the stakes. Instead of writing this research, investigate mobile learning. Try something like this. Every semester, thousands of Nigerian students drop out, not because they are not smart, but because they lack access to the tools and the resources they need. Did you see the difference? One sounds like homework and the other sounds urgent. Your argument should make people think, "Oh, this needs to be fixed," and not, "This is interesting." Did you get that? Say again. Your argument needs to make people think this needs to be fixed and not, "This is interesting." When people care about your problem, they immediately want to learn about the solution. Pillar 2, connect your points. Pillar 2 is connecting everything. One of the ways you understand a bad argument is that a bad argument just drops around, everything scatters. That's a bad and weak argument. You say point A, also point B, don't forget point C. On the other hand, good arguments flow smoothly. You say because of A, we see B. Now B leads us to discover C, and C now proves our main point. It's like you're giving directions. You don't just say go to Third Mainland, also visit Ikeja, and don't forget Victoria Island. You first say Third Mainland, then from there Ikeja, and finally you end at Victoria Island. Same information, even same progression, but one actually makes sense. The third pillar, you beat critics. Pillar 3 is to address your objections first. Instead of ignoring problems, you are the one bringing them up yourself. You can rather write something like this. Some people will say mobile learning is too expensive, but research showed that the cost of not implementing them is actually higher. When you do this, you actually sound like someone who has thought things through. When you ignore objections, you sound naive. It's like when you ask your parents for permission to travel. You address their concern even before they raise them. Now, putting it all together, here's what it sounds like in practice. Nigerian students are dropping out because they can't access resources. That's your stake. Mobile learning could help, but current solutions ignore our connectivity problem. That's your connection. Critics worry about costs, but doing nothing costs more. That's addressing objections. This research shows how that's an argument that demands attention. So remember the 3 pillars. Start with why it matters, connect your point logically, address objections first, stop listing facts and start building cases. Your research deserves to be argued powerfully. This is Academically Speaking, where we turn good writers into great ones. See you next time.